Greetings and welcome to an LGR unboxing thing, something I've been wanting to get to for years now. This lovely looking unit. This is the original Xbox, first released on November 15th, 2001. And yeah, with its 20th anniversary coming up here pretty soon, which I cannot believe, I figured it'd be kind of fun to do an unboxing of one that's never been used, to my knowledge. Yeah, I picked this up while thrifting some time ago, like years back, and you know, I had actually never had one of these back in the day. I didn't even know like many friends that had one. Pretty much everybody I knew back then had a PlayStation 2, and I myself was just a PC gamer through and through, didn't even have any consoles when they were new until years later. And yeah, the Xbox has always intrigued me. I mean, ever since it came out, like I remember when it came out, it was really exciting to have this new player, Microsoft, in the console gaming market. You know, just on the surface, it kind of looked like a Dreamcast, but upgraded, and it had a DVD-ROM. It just looked really cool, and the whole Direct Xbox thing was really appealing to me, coming from the PC, and that's, you know, where the name comes from. DirectX, the Xbox API is a variant of it, and the whole PC architecture underneath. I mean, this is effectively just a computer crammed into a console case. You know, you get a Coppermine based 733 megahertz Pentium 3 processor, an NVIDIA GeForce 3 based GPU, 64 megs of RAM, some standard desktop components in there like the DVD-ROM and the 3.5-inch spinny hard disk and the DirectX API. Yeah, dude, it was just like computery, and that appealed to me, even though I never got one back then because I was 15 years old when this came out and I didn't have a job or money or, you know, whatever. I had a computer. It was fine, but I've always been drawn to it as a result. And well, now I've got one here that I've been meaning to open up for a long time, kind of see what I was missing out on 20 years ago. And I mean, you know, 20th anniversary seems as good a time as any to unbox it. Plus, I was also just going through storage recently, ran across this, and just posted a couple photos on Twitter and be like, oh, hey, should I unbox this? And the official Xbox account was like, oh yeah, you should do that. So, hey, who am I to say no to some giant corporation's social media intern or whoever said that? So, yeah, let's go ahead and unbox this sucker. Oh yeah. This is nuts. So yeah, while the box has obviously been unsealed at some point in its past, all of the stuff inside looks to be still sealed in the way it left the factory, which, by the way, was 2004. This is a slightly later one, so I think March 2004 is what the manufacturing date back there says. More on that in a bit. But yeah, look at all this. Got the AV cable all sealed up there. Composite RCA connections. And what is this, power maybe? Yeah, just standard power cable. Also, yeah, that looks like original tape to me. Wonderful. But yeah, not being terribly familiar with the different versions and releases of the Xbox, I wasn't sure if this would have like the Duke controller. Obviously not. This is like the S controller here, which makes sense, being built in 2004. So, ooh, the main event right here. Look at this. Oh man. Like a Christmas I never had. And last things in the box are paperwork and documentation, so important. We got a warranty registration card. Congratulations on owning the most exciting product on the planet. Act now to, okay, it's a warranty extension or something. Ooh, I could have used that extended warranty kind of thing on my Xbox 360. My first one of those went red ring. And what is this? Stop, read things. Instructions. Cool. Well, let me just take a second to admire all of this. These things are only sealed once, after all. Look at all that. Man, just imagine getting something like this in the early 2000s. It always seemed like such a cool console. I remember playing the demo units and just thinking that the graphics looked amazing, the frame rates, and like there were sequels to some of my PC gaming classics on here, like Midtown Madness 3, for instance. I was always envious that the consoles got that as an exclusive. All right, let's see what we got in this documentation real quick. I've genuinely never seen any of this. I did have a friend's Xbox a few years ago that they'd had, but you know, it was just all, like, it was just the console. It was loose, secondhand. It didn't come with any of the original stuff. So I have never seen all the stuff that this comes with. Oh, like a hookup thing here? Yeah, ooh, quick start guide. Plug in the things. Make sure it's powered on, controller's connected, and that you're not buying PlayStation. And optional, go live. Optional. Oh, how cute. Ooh, whoa. Free issue of official Xbox magazine and a free game disc. Wow. I never read that magazine, honestly. Maybe a time or two in a Barnes & Noble when I was bored or something, but oh, here we go. Connect Xbox Live. That's pretty rad. That was such a foreign concept, like an unthinkable thing to me back then, is having consoles on the internet. Are you kidding? I barely had reliable internet on my PC. Plus, like, yeah, just playing multiplayer games when it wasn't couch co-op, local multiplayer is weird. And the instruction manual. How large? Like, dimension-wise anyway. It doesn't look, yeah, not too thick. 10 pages in English. Everything else is in Spanish and French. Makes sense. Just curious if there's anything interesting in here whatsoever. I like the in-release of the cords. Always found that to be a cool idea, so you don't yank on the console if you accidentally pull out the controller or whatever in a weird way. I do have component cables for this somewhere, but I'll have to see if I can find them. I don't know, probably not gonna do that today. I don't know what we're gonna do today. I just want to turn it on and like play it real quick. Oh man. More things to open. So the composite video cable. Ooh, look at that. That big old chunky controller end piece. Yeah, dude. I always admired how thick this cable was. It just feels like quality. These connections, nice and grippy and everything, the gold tips. Smells like the mid-2000s. Genuinely smells good. I miss those years. Got some power right here. I mean, it's just a regular old power cable, but it's so official. Look at how official that is. And the controller. I look forward to this. The only ones I've ever used were really gross. Like, well used. So, yeah, whether it was at friends' houses later on or the demo units in stores, just terrible. I don't know. I've never played too many Xboxes, the originals anyway. Oh, yeah. That is wonderful. Always enjoyed this controller. I mean, I like the Duke as well. Oof. That feels nice. So fresh and so clean. Got the 2 memory cards going in there. And, yeah. There's that part. Comes apart there. So many of these I've found in thrift stores over the years. They're just missing this aspect of it. And then, yeah, it sucks. Back when everybody had their own proprietary connection instead of just USB all the things. Dude, totally playing the dick out of some Midtown Madness 3 on this. And finally, oh my goodness, excitement. Ooh, got some more plastic on top of there. Dang, how special. Seriously, look at that. So many of these I've seen while thrifting over the years and just never pick them up because they're always beat to hell and gross and scratched and all kinds of problems, man. Some of these things really went through the ringer in terms of being well used, well loved, I suppose. Yeah, isn't that nice? Don't open it. Well, we might have to, because here's another reason I was wanting to, I was going to unbox this no matter what, whether or not it was the 20th anniversary. Because you see that manufacture date, March 21st, 2004, and the serial number? Well, that unfortunately puts it in a kind of an odd spot. for a well-known original Xbox problem, and that is the clock capacitor dying. Not only just dying, but catastrophically so, to the point where it can leak and wreak havoc on the motherboard, ruining it, destroying traces, and all kinds of problems like that you don't want. And I really wanted to just make sure that this doesn't have that issue. However, yeah, I was looking that up online to see which units were affected, and because of the specific combination of those numbers there and the revisions, it might or might not be affected by the clock capacitor problem, because apparently revision 1.6, they fixed that or used a better solution for the real-time clock and such. But 1.5 and before definitely have that issue, and the clock capacitor inside will need to be addressed. Thing is though, from what I can tell, the cutoff date is literally within like 30 days of when this was supposedly manufactured. So there's just this tiny little window that it may or may not be the revision that's affected or not. So whatever, I'm just gonna have to, look at it. I'm gonna turn it on and see if it's this kernel version 5838. If it is, that means we have revision 1.6. If not, whatever, I don't know. It might be a good idea to just take it apart anyway, but I do have some replacement capacitors, I just need one of them, but I got a couple. These are readily available because it's such a well-known issue. Oh man, so who knows what we'll find when we get this thing turned on. Hopefully it'll turn on, we'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this other plastic taken off. Actually, you know what? I just noticed as well that even the styrofoam is X-shaped. Oh, Microsoft. All right, let's see here. Ooh, that is fresh. Look at that. Like the fact that that's not all scuffed to nonsense. It's fantastic. This is special. So. The honor of being the first person to lay a fingerprint on black glossy plastic. Actually, it's not getting any fingerprints on there at all. Oh, there, a little bit. Wow. Well, that is a new experience for me, and hopefully a throwback, maybe some happy memories coming back for some of you. Just, traveling back to the early 2000s here. I'm super psyched to get this thing going, so let us get CRT and plug it all in and enjoy us some Xbox. Okay, got my 2000s Sony Trinitron going here, ready to go with some inputs around back, so let's get it all plugged in. And yeah, we're just going to be using composite for now. I don't actually know where my component cable is. This TV does have component, but I gotta find my cable. Moment of truth. Bonk. Good old degaussing. Oh yeah, I guess I'll need the controller. All right, here goes nothing. Fantastic! I haven't seen that in years. All right, so language selection, we'll go with English. If you connect your Xbox to the internet, ooh, it could communicate and download updates from Xbox Live. What a crazy idea. Sure. Ooh, yeah, so I guess we will see if indeed we have a clock going on. Okay. Such a cool interface. Okay, now, what I'm really curious about, system info. Let's see which version of this, because yeah, I'm looking for version 5838. Oh, it is not that. So we have 5713. That is revision 1.5, which means this could very well have a clock capacitor with the capacity for going bad, corroding, and doing nasty things. So I will definitely be opening this up. Probably not in this video, but yeah, I'm gonna be opening it up, replacing that clock capacitor with one of these and just making sure that it's all good. Because yeah, if that right there said 5838, we would probably be just fine, but it doesn't. So, all right. Man, this is so neat. Oh, dude. I seriously have used one of these systems so very, very little that I honestly don't even know what, like, man, what all it can do, what it's like to even set up and use. I pretty much just played a couple of games at friends' houses over the years, and a couple myself when I took in my friend's old Xbox. Now, I don't have any actual memory cards for this, but it does have the internal hard disk, which again I always thought was so cool at the time. Just having a hard drive built in, you don't have to get it as an add-on like you did with the PlayStation 2. Really cool. 50,000 plus blocks. I don't know how much that equates to in terms of megabytes per block. Audio CDs, yeah, and of course you could play DVDs, DVD movies. Oh, this is such a cool system. All right, well, I'm gonna play some games with it, see if the optical drive is working fine, which hopefully it is. Because, yeah, actually, the one that I had that was my friend's old Xbox, the drive stopped working, so I haven't even used that one in years. I need to repair it. But yeah, let's try some games. All right, well, yeah, just dug out most of my collection of Xbox games. I've never intentionally collected for this system. It's just one of those where I picked up cheap, appealing games at thrift stores over the years, and it's what I've accumulated. Honestly, most of the games that I'm quote-unquote missing from this, I have for like the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, PC, whatever. So yeah, I've never delved too deeply into this library, but yeah, Midtown Madness 3, here we go. This is the one that most appealed to me back in the day, because it was one of my favorite series on PC, and this one never came to the PC, which sucked. It looked so cool. And I have played it a little bit, not very much at all. I would like to do a review on this at some point, but anyway, yeah, we're definitely gonna play Midtown Madness 3 and 4 or 5 others that really stand out to me from kind of, I guess, early on in the system's life. You know, stuff that I really remember standing out for the system back then, impressing the crap out of me and stuff. Oh, and I also dug out one of my Duke pads I picked up thrifting some years ago. Looks like for $3 at a Goodwill. Oh yeah, still need to really clean this one up, but I really enjoy this pad. Like, it's so beefy and dukey. It's a very dukey pad, but yeah, it's just huge. And it fits my hands quite nicely. It's such a cool pad. I was really intrigued that they re-released it as well, like a couple years ago, for more modern Xboxes and stuff. Anyway, I'm not gonna use it right now, but I just wanted to show like the size comparison because it's just legendarily huge. Okay, Midtown Madness 3. Oh, fresh disk drive. Please work. Hey, oh, I haven't even got done setting up the camera and it's already starting up. Nice. Dice. Yeah. No longer Angel Studios here. They moved on to making the, what was it? Midnight Club games? Yeah. Which I always found those to be more of the spiritual successor to Midtown Madness. Felt almost more like a Midtown Madness game than Midtown 3 does. Okay, got myself a profile made. Let's do single race, good old cruise mode. Got your 2 cities. Let's go with Paris. Yeah. Quite a different car selection in this one compared to the first 2, but a good number of returning classics and way more to unlock. Let's just go with the Beetle. That fan noise.
What a perfect day for a cruise through Paris.
All right. Yeah, Midtown Madness 3. Let's go straight through those trees. Yep. Wow, okay. You could break smaller trees in Midtown too. Yeah, this was a weird game. To me, being so familiar with the first two. Fun still. Got a lot of its own merits, of course. Looks pretty great for the time. But, yeah. Felt like a side grade in some ways. Oh, it's great. Only running at like 30 FPS, but hey, it's not Burnout. Burnout, man, that had the crazy frame rate going on. That was always impressive. How do I get that? But yeah, I remember playing this at as a demo console set up at a Walmart, I believe. And yeah, thinking like, oh man, what a weird game. Familiar, but strange. It's still fun to just like run over the entire world though. The physics weren't like as completely bonkers as, whoops, I thought those were stairs. Yeah, not as completely bonkers as like Midtown 1 and 2, but still. Good times. And it really, really made me think, man, I gotta get me an Xbox. Even though I never did until now. 20 years later. Hey, better late than never. All right, next up, Dead or Alive 3. The disc sounds a little strange on that one. I don't know if it's because of that label. Oh yeah. I don't think I've played this in, I guess since it came out. I only ever played the demo. It was, yeah, another one of those demo units at some game store. I think it was the Software Etc. store in Haynes Mall. In fact, I know it was that store. I don't know if it was still Software Etc. at that time or if it had become a GameStop by then, but wow. A little slow to load those portraits. I guess they are 3D character models though, so. Sure. I am not really familiar with these players at all. Want a drink? I mean, sure. Oh, he's a drunken dude. Man, I remember this looking so incredibly good. I mean, it still looks pretty cool for 2001, man. Seriously, but not quite the same effect. I seriously, though, remember just being absolutely wowed at the character details and like the real-time shadows, all the cool background effects, and I mean, literally everything about it. The physics, the fluidity, yeah, this one in particular. I remember the snow on the ground being so impressive. Yeah, like it moves around when you go inside of it. Deforms and stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Still looks pretty good to me. That snow, it's crazy. You move through it, and it deforms. Yeah, that right there was so impressive. It had to have been like Christmas 2001 or something. Oh, come on. What the heck was that? Well, that is my cue to move on to the next game. And that disc is really loud and grindy sounding. All right, enough screwing around. It's Halo time. I have an Xbox.
We made a blind jump. How did they?
Get here first. The Covenant ships have always been faster. As for tracking us all the way from Reach, at light speed, my maneuvering options were limited.
Over here! Sir, the captain needs you on the bridge ASAP. Better follow me.
I could use a gun, bro. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Those are my guys. I didn't mean to, guys. I know you're back there, you little turd. it's still very intuitive in terms of the control scheme. Like, it still feels rather standard. Yeah, full disclosure, I have not played Halo before, at least not to any real degree, or with a controller. I've never ever played the original. I've messed around with the PC version, like whenever it finally came to Windows, but by that point I wasn't terribly interested in it, so it was like, I never continued. And yeah, I just kind of never played any of the later ones too. I think a little bit of Halo 3 multiplayer, and that was about it. I should probably play through this sometime. It seems like an important game, to say the least. This looks so cool for the time. Holy crap. Anyway, Halo, it's still good. Like, really good. No surprises there. But, oops, that's my guy. Let's move on. Die! Next up, The Sims busting out. Oh, Maxis. I miss OG Maxis. Wow, it has been a long time since I have booted this up. Yeah, it was just so cool to have a 3D Sims game back then at all. And I always wanted to play it so badly. Even just The Sims on the Xbox and the PS2, it was 3D. Yeah. Okay. The 3 body types. Wonderful. These clothes are fantastic. Oh man. What is that? There we go. Duke Nukem, barely. Dork Norkum, more like it. Yeah, it's the early 2000s. Hey Duke, I never dreamed I'd meet you here. Come here and give me a little kiss? Okay, so this camera just kind of follows around your reticle. Oh my goodness, what happened? Stop daydreaming. Malcolm is taking your scooter. Mom? Oh, so this is just a dream situation, I guess, huh? Yeah, like I said, I haven't played this in so long. In fact, I remember playing The Herbs a little more than this one, so I barely remember any of this at all. Wake up, Duke. So Duke lives at home with his mom. That sounds about right. I gotta get out of here. This is embarrassing. Okay, here we go. Got all sorts of thingies going on. Let's go into build mode. Ah, yes. We got some chairs. Not as much locked as I thought. Just a few things here and there. Yeah, a bunch of classic items from the original Sims. Updated in 3D. It's pretty neat to see, honestly. Alright, I'm going to take a sit over here. I just want to watch TV here. How do I cancel his actions, man? He's just like doing all sorts of crap on his own. Yeah, I'll need to learn how to play this before I ever end up covering it. But I really do want to cover these Sims console games at some point. I just am barely familiar with them. How about no, let's not dance. I'll answer that phone as soon as I'm done eating and watching all my favorite shows. What a goofy game. What did I do to deserve this? You're telling me. Alright, moving on. Alrighty, time for some Crimson Skies, High Road to Revenge.
This is a world on fire. This is the world of Crimson Skies.
Couldn't quite catch what he said there, but that's okay. Alright.
Nathan, I did some checking. Word is the Cajuns are hiding the Pandora and those are... Hey, what are you shooting at me for?
I don't like you.
What are you shooting at me for? Hey, what are you shooting at me for?
I win. Oh, well. Yeah, I always like this weird alternate history of the design of the planes and the lore and the world itself of Crimson Skies. It's just neat. I have never played this one though. I've only played the original, so you know.
Practice on those weather balloons.
Okay. Oh, the humanity.
Fix and grab.
Nice. Give me your crap. Oops, whoops, whoops. That's cool water effects though. Did you see that? And like flapping up on the screen there.
Got an engine fire.
Ah man, that's a cool game. Still plays well too. Looks awesome. Eee. Next game. Last game, I guess. Now I was gonna go with Project Gotham Racing or Burnout or something, but gotta go with Forza Motorsport. Been a big fan of the Forza games for a long time. I mean, I really started with Forza 2, but oh man, good old Maple Valley. All right, let's see what we got here. Mazda RX-8. Oh, Mitsubishi Eclipse GTS, S2000, Audi S4, Lexus SC430, Dodge SRT4, Nissan Altima 2004. It just cracks me up because these are just like such. I mean, some of them are pretty awesome cars, you know, but like, you just see so many of them and they've been around for so long at this point now, they're just blend into the background and they're so average, everyday kind of cheaper cars. It's great. I gotta go with that Nissan Altima. It's just like such a basic car. Okay, got our assists, suggested line. I guess we'll just leave it on for now because sure. Oh, look at that. That still looks excellent. Oh yeah, dude. Oh, so this is this layout of Autumn Valley. Okay, sorry about that, Neon. All right, well, the soundtrack is perhaps a bit dated, but man, game still feels great. See if I can smack that guy off the road. Yeah, the suggested racing line right there, you know, tells you when to brake and yeah, all that good stuff. Like, that was such a fresh idea to me. I don't remember seeing it in games before this. I just remember being like, what is that? When I saw this at a friend's house, like in 2005 maybe, something like that. He was a big racing game fan, had an Xbox. And I was just like kind of blown away. I'm like, that's such a cool idea. It seems like so obvious. I don't know, it was just a neat assist and yeah. This is a game that introduced me to that. The Racing Line. I knew the concept, but I'd never seen it visualized like this before. Yeah, dude. Oh man, that still holds up very well. This, like, physics feel good, racing feels good, looks great. Anyway, yeah, Forza Motorsport, that's a lot of fun, man. I want to keep playing that. Yeah, man, I guess I'll just say that's about it for this video. Even though I really could just keep on going playing all kinds of games here, there are dozens of exclusives and top-notch titles for the platform and things that were better on this or had different content on this than other platforms. And I can still hardly believe that it's been 2 decades since the Xbox platform became a thing. Like, I was really skeptical, I remember, if Microsoft would be successful with this. You know, a newcomer to the console market, like, what's that about? I had my doubts they'd last up against competition from Sony and Nintendo and whatnot, but yeah, obviously they did, and I'm glad for it. You know, it's always great to have more competition. Even if very few people I knew ever had one back then, you know, it wasn't the most successful platform at the time, but I just thought it was neat regardless. Yeah, I'm gonna continue having fun with this. I've got to find my component cable, get the RetroTink 5X going maybe, and you know, maybe mess around with soft modding it. I don't know, I've never done homebrew on an Xbox, and of course there's things like the Insignia project. I don't know if that's still going, but that's like an Xbox Live service revival for the original Xbox. It'd be kind of cool to try sometime. I really got to get that clock capacitor replaced sooner rather than later. I don't want to push my luck. Kind of ran out of time to put it in this video, but maybe I'll do it in a blurb or something in the future. And yeah, like I said, that's about it. So slap some of your own memories in the comments. Let me know what you thought about the Xbox back in the day, you know, good or bad, if you had one, if you didn't, if you wanted one like me, or if you thought it was just redundant and unnecessary compared to the other platforms. You know, whatever. Thoughts, they are welcome. And if you like this kind of thing, check out my other videos. I make them and post as often as I can here on LGR. And as always, thank you very much for watching.